Dream big, plan smart, build wealth. This is the TFS podcast, where money talk gets real and financial freedom is more than just a goal. Without further ado, let's dive in.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the TFS Wealthcast. This is episode number 7, and today we're going to deep dive into offset accounts and redraw facility accounts. We're going to talk about who is it for, when to use it, and when it's not the best time or when it's not the best strategy for you. We're going to talk about the pros, we're going to talk about the cons, and who better to answer all the questions we have than a man who's used it himself and recommended it to countless other clients. So, Pramu, welcome.
Thank you for having me again and again. I think we have to, one of these episodes, we have to ask Sonali to come in.
We need to get Sonali here. We need to get some new special guests.
Yeah.
We did have a special guest on episode number 5, Doctor.
Last episode.
Was it
last episode? No, episode before.
5.
Yeah. That was a good one. That was a very good
What did you guys talk about in that episode?
Oh, we talked about Dr. Dilshan's, how he has got into sports science with another mate of mine, partners in the business, and how the data is being used for high performance. I think we should be talking about it now. If you want to hear, want to listen to that episode, go to episode number 5, season 2. It's a good one. All right, let's make this one as a good one.
Okay, done. So let's jump straight into it, Prabu.
All right.
Let's start with offset accounts.
Okay.
Prabu, what is an offset account?
So simple words, right? So look at it. Offset. You're offsetting the interest. So when you have a home loan, the bank charges you on interest. So let's say, argument's sake, we have $100,000 home loan, and the bank is charging you 5%, right? So you are paying $5,000 of interest. Am I correct with my numbers there?
Yeah,
Absolutely, I'm correct.
I mean, even if you were wrong with your numbers, I'm not going to say you were wrong. In front of camera, I don't want to lose my job. I'm just joking. He's not one of those bosses.
So we got 5% on 100,000, right? Yeah. Now that is what you owe to the bank. That is what you have to pay to the bank. Then let's say you have $50,000 in an offset account, or we call it savings account. Now that one also earning 5% interest.
Yeah.
So you're offsetting 100% of your interest that you owe to the bank with the balance of your savings account. So that means you are now earning $2,500 from that savings account, an offset account. Yeah. So now how much you owe to the bank now? You have $5,000 that you owe as 5%, but the bank is now owing you $2,500. So basically, you just have to pay the bank $2,500.
So basically, for someone, let's say someone has $500,000 home loan.
Yeah.
Right? And they sold a car or whatever, and now they have $50,000. So instead of parking this in, just putting it in a savings account and earning interest, if they put that in an offset account against their home loan, then they would reduce the value of their home loan by $50,000. That is the interest payable value. So they would only pay interest on $450,000. Is that what you're saying?
No, so you're not reducing the loan balance. So a lot of people...
The interest payable component.
Right? You're not putting your $50,000 into the home loan account. Yeah. You're keeping it in a savings account. Now, savings account, you sold a car, like you said, got 50,000, goes to savings account, you're offsetting it, and then you realize it in about 3 months later, man, I want to buy another car, go and spend $50,000. So now you're not offsetting your savings account or offset account balance is zero in that situation, right? So you're not actually paying down the home loan in per se, but you're saving, by offsetting, you're saving interest
against that 50,000.
Yeah, right. And it's all over the period of time, you will save quite a large amount of interest if you keep saving into that offset account. And also when you start using that offset account in the way that it has been designed to be used, you'll save even more.
Okay. So if someone put money, let's say we put that 50,000 in the offset account,
Yeah.
and if someone wanted to pull it out to buy another car, are there any fees involved in pulling that money out? What's the procedure?
No, it's your money.
Okay.
There's no fees.
Yeah. It's just like
Take
taking
your
money
money.
out of the savings account.
That's it. Yeah, there's no fees.
Okay.
But most banks do charge a fee for that feature
For the to have an offset account.
to have an offset account. So if you're not going to be having any money in your offset account,
Yeah.
maybe consider not to have the offset facility in your home loan. Because if you're having a home loan balance of $500,000,
Yeah.
and you're not planning on having, I don't know, 50,000 or even at least 10% of the balance, you're not saving that much.
Okay. So for people, if they don't have a large sum of money they can put in an offset account, it's not the best idea to use
It's
an offset account facility.
it's not. I mean, to be really direct, if I become very direct about it,
Yeah.
if you are using the offset facility daily basis, you may not need a large amount of savings or money in the account. Interest gets charged daily,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So you earn money. Your payment could be weekly, some guys daily, some fortnight, some monthly.
This is repayments into the offset account.
Your wages or whatever earnings you are having.
Okay.
So now, if you start thinking about, okay, now you get a $2,500 per week rent or per week income,
Yeah.
rent or whatever, right? If you're only going to be using $500 in that week, now you're having $2,000 in the next week.
Yeah. So every week 2,000 keeps getting added up.
Keeps getting added up. Now you might use, out of 10,000 that you will end up earning that month, you might ended up using $8,000 by the end of the month. But the amount of days that you had that money against the daily interest being charged, that is, you'll be surprised a significant amount of savings you will have.
Because interest is charged on a daily basis.
In a daily basis. That's why a lot of people go wrong with this offset account. They think, okay, offset account, I got to have the balance, end of the month, whatever the balance is. That's not how it works.
So Pramu, what are some pros of offset accounts? Because I'm assuming you've used offset accounts for your personal.
Yeah. See, pros of offset accounts, think about it very simply.
Let's make this personal. Why would you use an offset account?
So I'll pay less interest for my bad debt.
Yeah.
I want offset against my good debt. What for?
Yeah.
I want to pay interest so I get more tax benefits. But I will offset against my bad debt. So the pros of an offset account is if you use it correctly, you will save interest over the time, and which means you will be paying down the principal as well. So it's like it works in a simultaneous manner, right? You're saving interest, and because you keep paying the same repayment to the loan account, your interest component has reduced where it's supposed to be. If the interest component is supposed to be, let's say, $1,000 a month, because you're offsetting, you're only paying $500 per month of interest, but you keep paying that $1,500. Now you're doing $1,000 more towards your principal. Now your principal is reducing quickly. So you're shaving years of your loan term.
Yeah.
So over the years, what you're doing is you're also saving a lot of money into the home loan and helping the equity position of you to reinvest that money in a property or whatever the asset class that you want to invest. So that is one of the main pros, I would say, in an offset account. And the second one, I would say, you have more control, right? So it's a transaction account.
Yeah.
So when it's a transaction account, you have a card or whatever, right? It's easy to swipe, bang, bang. You can do transactions quickly.
Yeah.
Opposed to a Redraw. So that's the second advantage I would say for offset accounts in a very simplified way. There are other advantages, but I think if we keep it very simple for people to understand how to use and what are the pros and cons about offset account, the pros are the main thing, right? Now, if you want me to jump into cons about,
might as well
jump, right? So to majority of the banks to have an offset account, they're going to charge you an annual fee. Now, whether you're going to have money or not, whether you use it in a correct way, they don't care. They just given you the facility. It's your problem that you're the one who's not using it. So they're going to keep charging you that money. Some banks charges you monthly, some banks charges you annually. So there is a disadvantage there where you pay for it. If you're not using it, that money is actually pointless. The second thing,
and Pramu, offset accounts people can only use the offset facilities when they're on variable interest, right? They can't use it on when they're on fixed rates.
That's what I was going to say. The second thing about offset facilities, there are types of offset facilities.
Yeah.
Some offset facilities are 100% offset, which are good, right? You're supposed to have them. Some partial offset.
Okay.
40%, 50%, 70%, things like that.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure you read your loan contract.
Why would someone go with a partial offset facility?
People tend not to go with partial offset facility. People just don't realize that they have been given a partial offset facility.
Or the bank
Yeah.
decides that for you.
They don't decide it. They advertise it.
Okay.
But you misreading it. Oh, I've got an offset.
Or you don't read the terms and conditions.
The fine print, the little
You'll
thing.
always read the fine print.
Yeah, you gotta. But they do tell, right? By the way, they do tell isn't a partial or whatever, 40%. Or
It just goes over here.
when you see an offset, it's a marketing gimmick. If you really think about it, we are in marketing. We know this language a lot.
Yeah.
This loan comes with redraw, offset, extra repayment, list goes on, and then the customer's like, brilliant, I have the best loan. How does the offset facility works? You don't read it. That's where you
get, yeah.
So fixed rates you were talking about. Fixed rates, some banks have the facility.
Offset facilities.
But they only give partial.
So they can't go 100%.
What's the point,
Yeah.
For them, they're not making money.
there's nothing
Banks don't like to exist in this world if they're not making money. Why would they?
100%.
Right. So it's a partial, pretty much. Most of the time, whoever gives that option.
So how does a partial offset account work?
So you simple mathematics. You have $100 in your savings offset. You owe $100 to the bank. Banks say, all right, at offset, we will only give you 40% to offset. So
because
only
you can offset the full amount if you have.
Yeah. So you still have to pay me about 60% of interest.
So it only works if you've got a large sum of money saved up.
Look, these days I hardly see anyone doing partial offset unless you want to go down the path of fixing it and then it still have an offset facility for the sake of it.
Yeah.
But the reason, again, these are certain complex finance structures that I would have done for certain types of people in a specific strategy.
Yeah.
So how it works is, I'll try and keep it very simple as possible. Now, we have a goal. We've written down, all right, year one, we're sitting at year one. Year two, we got to be buying this particular property. Year three, we got to buy this property. Year four, we want to sell this property. Year 5, 6, we want to double up.
Yeah.
So now we are on a pathway. What we are doing is we have a bad debt, so we need to reduce the interest component, but at the same time, we don't want to play around with the interest market where it can fluctuate and affect the cash flow of that particular individual or of a particular entity. So what we do is we go and fix the bad debt, and we say, all right, let's go and offset 40% of it. So we get 40% of that facility. But now we have a fixed repayment done for next 3 years, so we can enable year 2 and year 3 goals.
Okay. I mean, if you were following, I hope you were listening. I lost Pramu somewhere in there. I'm not gonna lie. I got a bit confused because I was thinking about what I'm gonna ask you next, Pramu. Let's move on to redraw facilities.
He didn't get it at all.
I didn't get it at all. There's a lot of numbers he was doing in his head, and in my head, I was doing all kinds of other numbers. And now we're gonna move on to redraw facilities, guys. If you resonated with what Pramu was saying and you feel like a strategy like that would work for you, do reach out to us and we can give you guys a tailored strategy. That's what we do at TFS. We don't have a one-size-fits-all approach because
it's not one structure we give.
Yeah, exactly. The strategy that works for you may not work for me. What works for me will not work for you.
And it's not ChatGPT.
It's not ChatGPT.
I mean, I've seen this a lot these days, man. It's so funny.
There's so many, AI brokers.
I give you structure.
AI real estate agents. Everyone's using AI. It's good if you use it for the right outcome. But anyways, let's move on to redraw facilities. Now, Pramu.
Yeah.
Let's keep it simple.
Yeah.
What is a redraw facility?
Man, I love this one. If you ask me the question, Pramu, which one you like, redraw or offset, I'll say redraw.
Because you like pulling out.
Pulling out money, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's what you meant.
100%.
100%. So the reason I like redraw facility, I don't have to pay to save interest.
Yeah.
Right? Now, there's a slight inconvenience in there. I can live with that because
that's the catch.
That's the catch.
Okay.
But if you're not, how do I say it? If you're not internet or digital banking savvy, you're not gonna like redraw. You're not gonna like it. So very simply, we have loan account here,
yeah,
which has, let's say, $500,000. I have $50,000, which is 10%. I want to now save.
Yeah.
Instead of keeping it on offset facility where I pay about 300 or 400 or maybe 130 or whatever annual fee for these people, I take 50, I park it in my loan account. Now, all of a sudden, my $500,000 loan reduced to $450. Okay?
Yeah.
In the loan account, it shows redraw available $50,000.
Okay.
I'm very happy. I'm only paying interest for $450. I'm still making higher repayments because my repayments are based on $500,000. I'm knocking off this loan quickly. Now, inconvenience factor is
so with a redraw, you still save. So you'll only be charged interest on 450,000, or
yeah, absolutely, because now your balance, you pay down,
pay down the balance,
right?
Okay.
And it says so when the home loans which has the redraw facility option, it says when you park the extra money into the loan, you get to access that money back to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You don't need to put application or tell, hey, I'm planning on going on a holiday, or you know what, I want to buy this expensive watch.
Hey, it's
You know?
Valentine's Day. I gotta take my girl out for some expensive dinner, something like that. Not an expensive date. Yeah.
I've never done that. Oh, is that what?
I don't know. I'm
Is that-
assuming. I mean, it was Valentine's Day
Oh, really?
last weekend, and my friend took me the week before to go shopping. And
So hang on. So you have a Valentine? I didn't know that you have a Valentine.
so not for me, my friend. My friend took me to go shopping to get his Valentine gift, and he got a very expensive engagement ring, which made me think I don't think I want to get married. We deviated. I'm sorry.
That's another episode that we will talk
thing,
about marriage and finance. Right. So coming back to redraw. So you got your money parked in the loan account, but you're paying $450. You can access this $50,000 anytime you want. Now, where you get stuck, not stuck, it's the wrong word. Where people don't like to use redraw, it's just a little inconvenience factor comes with it, which you have to now transfer. Let's say I decided to buy, okay, there's a watch I really like, available, $25,000. Now I want to use my $25,000, which is parked in my home loan, right?
Parked in the home.
Now, for me to do that, I don't get a swipe card, I don't get a debit card or credit card to use it. That money.
Yeah.
You can use it. You can use a credit card as a different story. You can use a credit card and then ask, but I'll get to that. So let's say you want to use the 25,000. What do you have to do? You have to log into the home loan account, transfer that 25,000 to your transaction account, which is linked to your home loan account. Most of the time, that's your direct debit account.
Yeah.
Transfer back into that. Sometimes it may not happen straight away. A couple of hours later, money is in the account, and then off you go. You use it. That's the inconvenience factor in a redraw.
Okay, so but there's no fees.
No fees.
Nothing.
Redraw doesn't have fees.
So okay.
Yeah. Now, let's look at not complex. Let's look at high net worth clients who has properties above 10. Now, they might have their home loan into different splits because what they have done is they've used those money into different kinds of investments of their excess equity. Now, technically, you don't need to go and offset because those things are also tax deductible. Now, let's say argument's sake, you want to do it.
Yeah.
Now, that is inconvenient to have parked money in multiple loan accounts.
Yeah.
It's a pain. Now, for those types of clients, offset works very well because there are multiple offset accounts you can do.
I have a question. So if you've got, let's say you've got 2 home loans.
Yeah.
And you've got 1 offset account. Can you link 1 offset account to 2 home loans?
Yes and no. I mean, why would you need to do that when you can have another offset account linked to the other, right?
Just double the fees
Yeah.
you're paying.
Yeah, because the bank only charge. This is the beauty about an offset. Bank only charge one fee. You can have multiple offset accounts.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't matter how many offset accounts.
No. So that's what I said. If you're going to use it wisely.
Yeah.
Right. I don't like to have multiple accounts for my bad debt, which is my home loan. I don't.
It's more stressful.
What for?
Yeah.
Keep it simple. I just have one bad debt,
But
one offset account if I want to use it, but most of the time I use the redraw. I like that.
yeah.
Right.
So you've clearly got a preference.
I do.
Yeah.
But I also negotiated with the bank and said, hey, look, I've given you enough business. You can't charge me for an offset.
Okay.
I just like to have it. I may not use it, but I
There you
want
go.
it.
How many of you have hustled the bank? It's usually the other way around. The bank hustles you.
No, I mean, most
This guy hustles the bank. And the bank's
Yeah,
like,
but
okay.
if we do that for many customers, right?
Yeah.
But you have to stand. You gotta be in a position to say, hey, I've given you enough business position.
Makes sense, yeah.
Just because you have a $1 million loan, that's not enough business
Yeah.
from the bank's perspective. And sometimes when you really negotiate hard, they do give a 1 year free. Well, we've done that multiple times to a lot of clients
Yeah.
who need that assistance. We've done that 1 year free, $395.
There you go, clients. If your broker is not a hustler that's gonna fight on your behalf, it's going to hustle the banks on your behalf. You need a new broker.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, I know, right?
And a hustler
He's a hustler
/ a broker.
/ a broker. Your broker's a hustler.
Okay,
So
that narrows the market quite a lot.
Coming down to the pros and cons of redraw accounts, because just like anything good in life, there's always a catch.
Redraw. I mean, the catch is that just that inconvenience factor, transfer, I do that. Look, that's all I can think of, to be honest with you. Redraw is one of the best features, in my opinion, that was invented as an alternative option for offset. I don't see any.
Yeah.
My opinion, I don't see any flaws in it.
So in some ways, they're similar.
They're similar.
It's just in one you park the money in the loan,
Yeah.
and the other one you just park it in an account that's directly linked to the loan.
Yeah. It's like, siblings in a family.
Brother and sister.
One likes to make it, things a bit harder.
Make the parents' life a little harder.
And the other one, just go with it.
Just goes All right. So, from now that we've discussed, we've gone into breaking down offset accounts versus redraw accounts.
Yeah.
Let's talk about who each strategy is best for, right? Offset accounts. If someone was, let's say, okay, I'll give you an example. If someone's a business owner, right, or a property investor, what's a good strategy for this kind of individual? What would work better for them?
See, as I said before, offset facilities are very good for high net worth or high income earners, not high net worth. High income earners is brilliant because offset facilities, because their income coming at a chunk,
Large sums of money.
So then daily basis, if you play with the funds, it's brilliant, right?
Yeah.
So there are a lot of business owners I know, they do this. They don't go to redraw, they go with offset. Because money comes in, money goes out, money comes in. It's constantly happening. But even a 1 day interest savings, it's a lot. It's a lot. So it adds up. So offset facilities, in my opinion, very, very good for high income earners or larger traffic coming into your account.
Yeah.
That's a better, because you don't need to be inconvenient to put it to the loan account and transfer it. But that won't work for them.
Yeah.
You gotta have quick access. So I will stick with offset facility option
For
high income earners or income earners, constantly money is coming in.
Yeah.
Better.
Even a person with multiple streams of income.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then redraw. Would you say a redraw is best for long-term owner-occupiers, people who are like disciplined with their payment structures?
Redraw is absolutely better for long-term purpose, right? So if you're going to transfer $50,000 and keeping $50,000 in the account for the next 3 months or next 6 months, brilliant.
Yeah.
Right? It's a set and forget kind of thing.
Yeah.
Brilliant, in my opinion, because there's another fact. There's another side of this thing of redraw as a mindset reset. When you transfer the money into the loan account, it's in the loan account. Somehow or the other, you realize I have paid down my loan, which is good.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling, right? Now, think about it from an offset.
Yeah.
You haven't paid down your loan. Your loan balance is there. You just have the money.
Yeah. And it's
and you have easy access to go and spend it on things, whatever things.
So you're saying if you put it in a redraw, you're less likely to use that money.
Yeah.
As opposed to having it in an offset, because mentally you see, I have this much money saved.
It's a slight, very
mindset.
slight mindset reset happen.
So accessing the money, is it faster to access it from an offset?
Offset is faster. You have a debit card or
Much
a
faster.
Visa or
Whereas
whatever, right?
Redraw, you have to go and transfer the
You
money.
you can pay. You can pay pass or what do you call it?
Apple Pay.
Pay away or bang bang. You're done.
Yeah.
But with a Redraw, you can't. You have to log in, transfer, and then do that.
So those additional steps
additional
will
things.
also keep you from wanting to,
Yeah,
I want to spend on that, but
this happens a lot, right? Like if you really think about it, you go out, have a good night, and you want to shout out the bill, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, hang on, I gotta get a bit more money to pay. Chances are very low that you will log into the home loan account and transfer it.
yeah, by the time you get through all those steps, and,
Someone would have paid
yeah,
it.
depending on the service provider you use, you might have really
Yeah.
bad internet connections.
Yeah.
No
So-
shots taken at anyone.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good for individuals who wants to be sometimes somewhat controlled for their expenditure.
Yeah.
We've seen this. I mean, we all have our flaws, right? When we have money, we want to do this, we want to do that. Look, for me, I like to enjoy my life. I'm not a guy who keep the money in the account and let it rot. It's not me.
Yeah.
If it's there, I'll use it for something that I really like. Not all the time for investments. I mean, as you see in me, if I want to drink a certain kind of a whiskey, I'll spend it.
Yeah. Drink that whiskey.
The whiskey, it's okay for me.
Yeah.
But then if the funds are always accessible, then it can be a habit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said, for me, Redraw, brilliant. Thank you very much. I'll stick with Redraw.
Yeah.
Offset, I don't like it. We do have offset. Sonali and I do have offset. I don't even know how to access because I don't even have the cards.
Because you're a naughty boy.
I can
See something shiny, you want to go buy it.
Like I do sometimes have this shiny syndrome, we call it, but it's a good thing in my opinion.
So, just out of curiosity, Prabhu, for a first home buyer,
Yeah.
right? Average income, average household income, both joint income would be around, let's say, $180,000, right? For them, you would recommend using a redraw facility because they would also want to be. It'll also help them be disciplined.
Yes and no, right? It depends. It depends.
Circumstances.
Because you have to also understand what kind of a cash flow situation they are in. Right now, set and forget situation may not happen quite a lot for first home buyers.
Yeah.
But there are situations that it happens when your parents gives you a gift, which you never plan to have it.
Yeah.
So I did the redraw. Now, good thing about offset facilities. Now, this is one of the things I forgot to mention. Offset facilities often comes with redraw facility too.
Oh, so you can have a redraw facility against your home loan, and you can also have an offset against it.
Yeah. So when you go down the path of paying for an offset facility of $395 or $400, usually the banks charge around that, you get redraw facility as well.
Ah, okay.
Right?
Okay.
So it's there. It's up to you which one you want to use it.
Two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
But then you want to save that $395 or whatever, $300 that you pay for facility, then you get the redraw facility from the bank. But for a little inconvenience factor, you're okay. First home buyers is a very, very different kind of a breed, in my opinion, because you're just learning how to pay a mortgage.
Yeah.
So when you're learning how to pay the mortgage, in my opinion, maybe try out offset and redraw both option. You have to figure out which one actually suits you.
Suits you better.
Because at the end of the day, we all go into the same milestone, right? We want to pay down the home loan
Faster.
faster.
So you can save on
Make
the
it zero.
interest you're paying. Yeah.
That's what everybody wants to do. So you sometimes have to figure out what actually suits your lifestyle. I can't give you an advice. I mean, I will tell you how redraw works and an offset works. What's the best way to use offset and the best way to use redraw? I can tell you that, but it's up to you to figure out. Oh, okay, that process will work for me.
And also, without knowing a person's circumstances,
It's very hard to say.
Exactly.
It's very hard to say because we don't know what kind of employment you are in, and then how the money is coming in, and
monthly
monthly expenses. We
they
don't know.
have
We don't know that.
payments, yeah.
We don't know that. So it every single time it changes to person. It
which comes back to tailored financial strategies.
yep.
You gotta get one. If you don't have one, you have to. If you don't know how to make one for yourself, you gotta talk to someone who can give you one.
Yeah, you can't just go into a bank and say, "Hey, I want a home loan." Thank you. I'll go and buy a house. It doesn't work that way, right? So many good brokers who has been in the industry for a long time, or many good brokers who are in the industry doing well, none of these guys stick to a product that the bank gives you. Okay,
Yeah.
they don't.
I guess it all comes back to putting all these strategies and structures and facilities aside. Comes back to the fundamentals:
Yeah.
discipline and budgeting.
Yeah. So this is where one of the things I must say, this is why the mortgage brokering industry is big in Australia, because the market identify the value of a mortgage broker, what they do, and what they can do as well for certain types of individuals. Where the reason the market pops up, thanks to the bankers. I used to be a banker too. I'm not taking shots at bankers, right? Bankers are limited to their own products.
Exactly.
So you may not have all the clients walks into the bank that fits those products that they're available to sell, but they're forced to sell them. It's not, they may not even want to do it, but that's what they've been paid to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So that's why this mortgage brokering industry is massive in Australia, because of the flexibility the mortgage broker gives to a client.
Yeah, and which brings me to another concern that some clients have, is that okay, they bought their first home 2-3 years ago. Their broker gave them a strategy at the time. 2-3 years later, their financial circumstances would have changed.
Absolutely.
Which means that strategy that they got stuck, that they were offered, or the strategy that they started when they got into the market,
Which was good back then.
but it may not be the best strategy for them now.
No.
So it's good. Like every 2 or 3 years, you.
Oh yeah, every 2 years, I would say. Every 2 years, keep it a habit. Every 2 years,
Speak to your broker and
speak to your broker. I mean, have a look at even before you speak it to your broker. Have a look at where you are. What's your situation? Have you added new expenses, or have you taken certain expenses off? Are you saving more money, or are you earning more money? You know these things even before your broker tells you what to do. Your little your subconscious already telling you to your conscious mind, hey mate, you're in a better position now. Start looking for opportunities. That's where the broker comes in, get the information. All right, you can do this, you can't do that. My advice is this, right? So you have to do it every 2 years.
because end of the day, a good broker is supposed to give you the right advice and make your life much easier and save you a lot of money. In the process, right?
They are equipped to do that. But unfortunately, we have very limited amount of
Brokers
individuals in the industry
at the experience to
who, more than the experience, Vishy, who wants to do it.
do that. They just want a quick buck.
But I reckon, sometimes you have to.
Because if a client has to do the research and then go to a broker and say, I want to do this, and then the broker just facilitates that request, you can just go to the bank and tell the bank, oh, I want to do this. You don't need the broker.
Nah, you can even just log in online and do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So waste time.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, guys, thank you, Pramu, for shedding some light on offset versus redraw.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
It's
it's a big gap. A lot of people don't understand exactly what an offset is
Yeah.
and what a redraw is.
They just want to have it because others have it and the banks gives it.
Exactly, because it's a term thrown around
Yeah.
now, even amongst our brokers.
Yep.
I hear it, oh, have you considered an offset?
Yeah.
Or some clients would be like, oh, I want to get a redraw.
Yeah.
Right?
It's if I had to put it very simplified way and summarize it, right? If you're an offset, you have easy access to your money for you to use for even for rainy day. You have quick access.
Yeah.
But an offset in a correct way of using it, you gotta make sure your income comes in. Yes, you will also need to do expenses from that account as well.
Yeah.
Or you have a credit card which is also linked into that particular offset facility. That's something that we didn't discuss. You can have your expenses going from credit card and then have your offset facility have a standing order to pay the credit card on a specific day. So you don't pay interest to the credit card. While you have that 55 days of interest-free period, you save from your home loan. So you save from all ways, right? So the correct way of using an offset facilities like that, you gotta have an expense account. Which in my case, I would always have a credit card where I might even earn points. Brilliant, thank you very much. I won't pay interest, but I have a standing order, so I don't forget to pay it.
Yeah.
Because if you forget to pay,
Then you pay.
this is where a lot of people go wrong. You pay interest there. By the time you transfer the money, now you're starting paying interest here. So the bank's going to win. Right?
So maybe that's another episode for another day. Credit cards.
Right. So an offset, think about it that way. Have all three people working with you, which is the credit card, transaction or savings account, and the home loan. Redraw, chuck the money in, set and forget.
Forget about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a rainy day money.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't pay for redraw, but you pay for offset facility. That's why you have all these features.
It's like a last resort contingency.
Yeah.
Right.
So for first home buyers, figure out which way that works for you.
Yeah.
Once you figure it out,
or if you need help figuring it out, talk to us.
yeah, I
Yes.
mean, our guys will always facilitate it. But once you figure it out, continue to do it. Then in 2 years later, evaluate your situation. You might want to change from an offset to a redraw because you didn't do it right.
Yeah.
Or the other way around too. So it goes like that. Investors, you're not supposed to offset your investment loans. I've seen this quite a lot from a lot of people. Why you want to do that when you have tax benefits coming in? But understand how the tax benefit works if you're an investor, and understand how an offset facility and a redraw facility could help you to gain more return from the tax man and save interest on bad debts, right? So sometimes a lot of people also, not sometimes, I've seen this happening a lot of people have money against an offset facility or redraw while they have a personal loan which they're paying 15% or 16%. They're still paying it. I just don't understand the logic of that. You have 50,000 against your home loan, just offsetting a 6% interest, where you're paying a $30,000 personal loan at 15-16%. Come on, take the money, pay that off first.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes, you don't need to have offset facilities.
Yeah.
You can have a simple loan account to pay all the other bad debt off, then come into the complexity of these loans of offset and redraw. So I think I broke it down very quickly.
Yeah. See, guys. So if anyone's been confused with how offset and redraw works and what it is and who it's for, you're gonna find this episode quite beneficial. And
Absolutely.
again, like we said, if you want a tailored structure that will work for you, give us a call. And with that being said, thank you, Pramu, for your time, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode of TFS Wealthcast.
See you later.
Take care.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the TFS podcast. where we turn knowledge into action and big goals into real results. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this episode with someone working towards their next financial step. Now, with that being said, until next time, keep building.